Tell us about your rash.
Okay, so I had this rash for about 2 years. I saw my regular doctor. I saw a specialist, a dermatologist. I also saw an allergist. We couldn't figure out what the rash was from. It did appear as dermatitis, almost like itchy red spots. A lot of times it would show up as big whelps, especially on my side.
Like hives.
Like hives. And then if it was really bad, because sometimes it would come for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time, it would appear as one big whelp because I would have so many hives in one area.
Right.
We never figured out what it was from or what caused it or how to get rid of it.
So, and it was chronic, right? You said it lasted
Chronic,
about 2 years,
2 years.
right? So you came to me to get a healing, and we started with the healing. Do you remember what you were feeling while we did the healing?
So the healing,
Because this was about what, a year ago?
Yeah.
Probably about a year ago. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
yeah. I'm trying to think, probably about a year and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Even. But so when I was having the healing, I felt like this warmness, but it's only on the inside. A warmness that was from like here up, and it almost feels like you're flushed, like I was flushing, but I wasn't. My skin wasn't turning colors, or it didn't feel hot. It was just on the inside.
Yeah, and it took probably, if you remember, I know it's hard to go back like that long, but it took probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't very long,
Right.
but it was a quiet one because we had tried other things at other times that were interrupted. But this one
Right.
was a good healing time, a good
Concentration,
yes,
right? We were
that's
able to
right.
focus and work on it. Last about 5 minutes, and afterwards, I remember that you were saying that it stayed with you after we stopped, right? You were still
I
warm.
could still feel the
Flushing.
feel like that, like something was going on the inside, but you couldn't tell from looking.
Right.
You just feel it on the inside.
Right. So how long has it been since you? So it's been about a year and a half. So have you had the rash since?
I have not had the rash back. I have had feelings at some point, like maybe it might come back, but it's never come out
never
like
come
that
back.
ever again.
Yeah. And when you were talking about like the attempts that we tried, we were at your house, and I remember it was like a lot of activity going on,
Right.
and you had people over, and we were trying to work on you, and it
Right.
just it did not work out.
Right,
But you
right.
did get sensations. I remember you
I
getting
did,
like
even
tingling.
then,
Yeah.
feel the very first time you did that first healing on me, I could feel it so deep in the inside. I felt it like inside my insides.
Right.
Which I guess I told you in that session. I
Right.
felt it in my womb.
That's right.
But it was so.
But I was working. My hands were on your head. Is that correct? You remember?
Yes,
Yes. Yes. But
they
you
were.
felt it all the way in your womb.
Right. That's right.
So we just did another one on you. You were having problems with your thyroid. And you feel like your hair's thinning too. So we decided to do treatment on you to see. Would you like to share what you felt
Sure.
when we just did this?
This time he did the healing on my, I think it's a thyroid problem, so all, his hands were here. I started with that same flush feeling I've had every time. That was here in my trunk area, I guess you could say, up here. Then it did move up to my head, so about right here for a while. I felt it in my ears a lot. I even touched my ears to see if they were hot, but they were not. They're not hot, they're not red. And then it moved to the top of my head, almost like something was moving out.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So
Yeah.
it was finally gone. So
Yeah.
that's the feeling.
Yeah, so it went down to your chest, and now my hands were right around, and you still see your red right there where my hands were, which is, that's where the energy was going through.
And this doesn't feel hot or flustered.
No,
It
yeah.
doesn't feel, it's not uncomfortable or
Right.
it doesn't feel like it hurt at all.
Yeah, it just to touch, it feels fine, but it was like there was, it felt warm on the inside more or less,
Right,
right? But to
right.
touch it to the surface, it felt
Felt
totally
like
fine.
you were embarrassed or angry, like that feeling you get with that, like you would turn red and hot.
The flushing, you felt,
But I
yeah.
did not physically do that on the outside. I only felt that way in the inside.
You meaning the flush is what you feel like when you would get embarrassed or angry, you felt that flush.
Right.
You weren't embarrassed or angry, but that's what you were feeling.
That's
That's what
right.
the heat and felt like
Yes.
something inside of you coming through. So we'll see how it goes with your thyroid, but we just want to show on, as far as your last healing, your past healing, and this one. So thank you.
Thank you.